Hey guys, before we get started, Rachel here. Just wanted to let you know that throughout this episode we have a few technical difficulties. I'm going to come over here with a voiceover again just to let you know where those are. Jen had to step away for a little bit, so we have a break in the middle, and then we have another break towards the end where we had some weird feedback going on. So we just did 3 separate clips, and now I am editing them all together. So I'll be back in a few minutes or I guess later on in the video for you guys. For me, it'll be just a few minutes. But I'll be back and pop in here and just let you know what's going on. Enjoy the video. Alrighty. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Writer's Room with Rach and Kari. Today we are here talking with Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen.
Yeah, there she is. And it is me and Kari, and we are talking about fluff today. Finally.
And Jen is at Supernatural Jackals, and
I said that. Good job.
Yeah, we were supposed to have her on with angst and smut guest, but there was a scheduling thing, so we decided instead of trying to force her in later, we were just gonna do a week just talking with her and about fluff.
Yeah, and unlike our normal episodes, this one's actually pre-recorded, so we are not live like we normally are. But we're still here, we're still talking. And so Kari, about fluff. How do we feel about fluff?
And first of all, I would like to say thank you to all the people that sent in questions this time. This is really awesome, especially since we don't have a chat going this time. So thank you so much for that. And Rachel said, how do we feel about writing fluff? Were you asking a specific person or just?
I was asking, well, it's usually us to start with, so I'm asking specifically you.
It's fluff and angst. I kind of toss up between my two favorites to write. It really depends on the kind of mood that I'm in. But I think to write anything good, you need fluff in it. You can't write really, really heartbreaking angst if there's nothing to lose. So you have to have fluffy moments. And to me, porn without plot is not. I don't care too much for that. So I need the relationship moments within that, which is also fluff.
So that's where your patented flanked comes in.
My what now?
The word you come up with, the flanked.
Yeah, but is it really though? Because to me, flanked is something that's really, really angsty, but still has kind of fluffy ending. You can still have fluffy moments in pure angst. Like I just wrote a Misha X Reader, the story of love, and that has really fluffy moments telling their story throughout their childhood and stuff, but it still has a really, really angsty ending. So I wouldn't by any means call that flanked. I would just call it angst, and it has moments within.
So, see, I like more. I don't know if this is just me. I love just straight, no angst, just straight ball, like bury yourself in a giant bowl of marshmallow fluff.
I agree.
Like, because I've got my emergency services Drabble series, which is literally, I created it just to be fluff Drabbles. Like, there's no angst, there's not really too much plot. I mean, of course there's a little bit of plot, but it's just fluff and fluff and fluff and fluff and fluff and fluff and happiness.
But I do that too. I do that with my College Jensen AU. That's it. Of course, it has a bit of angsty moments in there, but because let's face it, getting pregnant in college is not really ideal. But but it's still mainly just fluff and how the two of them love each other through everything. Whether it's getting pregnant in college or figuring out how the hell we afford this or not seeing each other much because it means working a lot, affording a baby in college.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
just college is expensive. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, college is expensive as is, but if you need to add strollers and baby food and diapers and they grow really fast as well, so they need new clothes a lot.
lots of fluff. But so what makes, in our general opinion, a really good fluff fic? And I'm apologizing if I'm sounding all congested and everything. I'm still getting over gross allergy, cold,
to me,
whatever.
Fluff is the utopia. It's the perfect moment that you can imagine. No matter if it's having a baby or if it's getting married or if it's a quiet day in bed or if it's cooking with someone or if it's a sister fic and just having the brothers and sister be in the new room that we see Dean is creating, or whatever it is, it's just the ideal moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's these perfect little moments we all do have in our lives, and
it's just kind of focusing on
yeah,
like,
and just focusing on them, I guess.
Yes.
And so, Jen, when we first set out on this mission of finding our guests, you were our fluff person. So, in your opinion, what makes a fluff fic a fluff marshmallow fic?
Oh, there's so many things that I could say about what I love about fluff. It's just, you come home from work one day and you just think, you know what, I would love to just escape for a few minutes. And now I'm not saying that angst isn't great, because angst is great, and so is smut and crack and all that stuff. But sometimes you just need to go, and you need to go home, and there is a fic about, just a simple moment in the bunker with Dean or Sam or Cass or whoever you want. And it's just, hey, we're going to have a cup of coffee and we're going to talk about our days. It's just moments like that I like.
Exactly. You said that right.
It's an escape and like happiness,
I like our two definitions going on here. Is a utopia and it's an escape. So we have an escape in utopia.
Yeah.
And that sounds great. And what is the hardest part, in your opinion, about writing fluff? Because fluff is deceptively hard.
It is when you ask me that question, because when I'm writing it, I don't really think about the little things that I'm doing. I'm just writing. Yeah. One of my biggest problems that I know I have is that I just go on and on and on about stuff.
Yeah.
That's why my word counts are so high. I think probably the hardest part is just trying not to repeat myself over little things, I mean, I've done so many different things with bed sharing and cuddling and all that sort of stuff. But when I go back and I read these, and I see that there's differences in different situations that I do.
Yeah, which is
interesting to me that I can come up with this stuff and not even think about it. So, it's not even in there. It's just.
When you say this, do you think about only not repeating yourself, or do you also, these cuddling and bed sharing and stuff are really common tropes? Do you also think about how you keep it fresh in a way, and it's not a repeat of what 15 other writers have done?
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage that?
Well, I keep my reading of other people's fics until bedtime, so that I don't have to think about it later on. But I try to stay away from stuff that I know I'm going to write, so that I can keep that difference of where I want to take it. But it depends on where the situation is and what's going through my head that day, and it all depends on what I'm feeling. And if I want to write it in a certain way, or if it's just going to be hey, would you cuddle with me for a little while and let's go to sleep? Or it will be a simple, hey, I'm going to slip into his bed tonight, and no words are exchanged. It's just let it come out. That's the way I work mostly.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny you say the thing about the trying to not read. I do that a lot with the. I'm doing 4 bingos at the moment. I have the AU and the poly and the angst and the fluff bingo.
I try to get her to stop. I try every time.
Yeah,
but the thing with those are some of the squares. Of course, some of the squares are given to multiple people. So when I am tagged in something and I see that it is one of the squares that I have that I haven't yet written, then I don't read it because I'm afraid that that's gonna paint something that, not that I will constantly copy, but I'm still afraid that a part of me will forget that I read that and will write it into my own somehow.
A lot of the time I think about, like, because I signed up for one of them. I signed up for the fluff one. Obviously, I'm talking about fluff right now, but I try to think about how I would try to change it up a little bit in a way that people wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that with all the people having the same, because I've seen multiple bingo cards that are like exactly like mine. It's hard to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, the main thing that I'm doing with those, I'm taking it as a challenge to write non-reader pairings as well.
Yeah.
Because that's what most people do. So I have, especially for the fluff card, I think I have written 2 or 3 of them as Janelle already. Because I love that a lot of more people are writing that, because that gives me more to read. But it's still it's still kind of a little. It's writing real people is where some people put a barrier, and they can't do that. And writing a real couple, I think even more people have a we can't do this kind of a feel about it. So it's more a little corner.
It's a little corner, but it's a really good corner to be in, I think. I mean, obviously I'm in that trash bin with you. We all know that.
Yeah.
But even though I know it's not real, it's still nice to be able to go in and read that fic and then kind of picture a moment like that between the two of them, for example. I mean, I read your series with Danielle and Jensen in the Reader, and I read that late because I knew I was doing that the smut fic with the threesome. So I went and read that afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, thank God I didn't read this until now.
It's so funny.
I could see it going on in my head, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. So good.
Thank you.
I wish this was real.
What was the name of your smut fic again? Because we are trying to add the stuff that we're talking. I don't remember the name of it.
Just give me a second, because I don't remember the name either. Once the page loads. I think it's called Mending a Broken Heart. I can send you the link later.
That would be great.
That would be amazing. Then I don't have to look for it.
Yes, it is. That's what it is. It's Mending a Broken Heart. I will add that to the thing.
And as always, we have all the links to all the fics that we talk about in the description box below.
And mine was Old Flame News Facts.
Assuming Rachel actually remembers, because that's always a...
Yeah, I just added the thing for you.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's the... We need more guests like this, where links just magically appear in the doc we're working off.
I'm super organized. I'm not even apologizing for it. I just organization.
Yeah, but that's when I write them, I with a reader it's different, because then I'm inserting someone into the relationship. But when I write them, and it's not an AU, I have written 2 AUs so far. But when it's just them, I'm trying to, with a few exceptions, because there has been a few exceptions, I'm trying to go off things that Jensen has said in a panel, or something that Neil has said in an interview at some point.
I think I read one of yours the other day that I really enjoyed. I think it's in my queue for when with my reblog. But was it the throwing a remote at Jensen? That was yours, was it?
That's one. That's one of my exceptions. That's not. But it's still. That was me trying to. I have done a lot of fluff for them, and I kind of wanted to. They are not perfect all the time. They are still people.
So good.
Yeah.
It's the boob tape.
So still,
the boob tape. Yeah, the boob tape.
Yeah, it's boob tape and annoying boyfriend, and I'm gonna do a sequel that's flying remotes and irrational girlfriend. So it kind of overlaps. That the end of it is done from Jensen's point of view, and then have a little moment with them in bed at the end. So it's not a sequel. It's kind of a sequel and kind of a different point of view, but there's also a time slip. So it started with hers, and then the middle is gonna be both of them, and the end is just gonna be Jensen. But I didn't plan on that, actually. I just planned on that being the one.
I have you to blame now, because I went into like one of the La Senza shops, like it's a bra store here, and I saw boob tape, and I was like, God damn it, Kari. God damn it.
I was talking to Beck's Bunker, and she sent me some Gal Gadot pictures, and I was just like, that's a really brave neckline. No, I know that she doesn't have the biggest boobs, but it's still, she has, and Becky was like, she just used a lot of boob tape. And yeah, but I have used that and it really sucks. And somehow it got turned into a Daniel Jensen fic because, it's one of those things he just won't understand. Like, he's really confused that she sprays perfume on her wrist. I'm like, you have been married for 8 years, you idiot. How can you not know girls do that?
Oh, goodness. Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. And that brings it back into the writing something that you don't exactly expect.
Yeah.
So that's right there is a good example of that.
It started out in my head. It was more just a crack fic kind of a thing, but I needed her to. Of course, removing boob tape really, really sucks, but I still wanted that to be more of a reason why she was just annoyed to begin with, and it kind of developed into what it was. And as I posted, I decided that seeing it from just her point of view is one thing, but seeing it from his, I kind of wanted to explore a little more.
Yeah.
I need more coffee.
Rachel, I don't remember where we got to. What's the best part about writing fluff? Did we talk about that?
The best part about writing fluff? Let's see. There's my dogs. I apologize.
Okay.
I have 4 dogs.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
and I think 1 is a lot.
Well, your 1 is worth like 3 normal dogs. Just saying.
That's true. He's big.
And my cat is. I'm still mad at her. I'm still so mad at her right now.
Cats will do that.
She made a break for it yesterday.
Oh my god.
She actually got out the door and went into my neighbor's apartment.
What?
We have a stairwell. What? Yeah. No. We have kind of like there's an outdoor doors going upstairs. We have 4, kind of a block.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was bringing in groceries, she made a break for it. And about 10 minutes later, I get a knock on my door. Is this your cat?
Oh my god.
I am still
That's a cat for you.
Oh, was it the neighbors with the dog?
Yes.
See, that could have been interesting.
Definitely.
Everybody else is gone for spring break. They're the only ones.
Do you know how many things they could have broken if the owner hadn't caught the cat before the dog got a wind of it?
I think the cat just kind of ducked inside because she was scared. Her heart was going so fast when I got her back. She was so scared. I'm still so mad at her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had this little bunny at some point. It almost looked like a, do you call it a hare? Don't you? The
Yeah.
wild ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so with really, really long ears, and she could jump really, really high. And no matter what the hell I did, she always managed to escape. Her, she had a pin outside where she could dig and jump around, and I don't know how she kept escaping because I had not barbed wire, but the stuff that you use for chickens.
Chicken wire.
Yeah, chicken wire that went a little inward, so
Yes.
she couldn't jump over it without just hitting her head into it. And she couldn't dig under because about 2 feet under I had the chicken wire in the ground as well. So she must have climbed out somehow. But she kept escaping, and every time that I found her, she was just a little ball on the ground and just pressing herself to the ground, and just her heart was beating so fast. It was just she wanted to escape, but when she had escaped, she just really didn't want to be outside.
I made a mistake. I messed up.
Yeah, come save me.
I have regrets. I have regrets.
Mm-hmm.
That's me when I moved out of the house. I have regrets.
Still live with my parents still. Yes.
Hey, I mean, no shame.
No shame at all. School's expensive.
It really is. See,
And you're not. How old are you? 20? It's not. It's.
I'm 21. I haven't even gone to school yet.
Hey, same age.
Yep. Still deciding.
Only reason I live away is because my school's 2.5 hours away.
Oh my God, it's so far.
Yeah.
It's not even that far. Some people move across the country, so.
This is true.
In the same state.
This is true.
Well, when you go out of state, you have to pay more. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, girls. What's the best part about writing fluff?
Well, it depends on what the fluff you write about. I mean, when I'm writing fluff, hey, you know what? I get to cuddle with Dean.
Yeah.
Or Sam. Or I get to kiss one of. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah. That's good times. Just thinking about that. Do you guys ever watch like an episode of it and then just think, wow, what I would do to just be there and just touch him? And that's kind of motivating.
I think I just need to look at a GIF and be like, ah, he's so pretty.
Oh, there's a couple of those that do that to me.
This
I'm generally that's me with Dean though.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
I love Sam and I love Jared, but it's still in my head he's kind of like the annoying brother.
No, I'm Sam. I can get on board with Sam.
Yeah.
I love both brothers, but Dean had my heart from the second I saw him.
Yeah.
True.
I followed Jensen to Supernatural, and I'm really, really old. I have been watching since the pilot. So
yeah, you're great.
That was really nice.
I was how about 17 or something like that when it started. So
you were a baby. Oh man. I just realized that I lost a snap streak. Damn it.
We can start one.
Yeah, do it. No.
How long have you been writing fanfics for? I guess I think Rachel and I have answered before.
I technically started maybe the summer of 2014, I think. I didn't post my first one until the December of it, but on Tumblr, I've been writing it for almost 4 years now. It's a crazy thought.
That's impressive.
It's a crazy thought. It's been fun. It's been a fun ride so far.
This April, I have been posting on Tumblr for 3 years.
That's exciting. That's so exciting.
I think mine was 3 years. Mine was like the same year as Kari, so 3 years, but mine was like in July.
But do you guys still feel like it was just yesterday you started?
Yes.
It does. It feels like that, and sometimes it feels like I've been doing it my whole life.
See, I started posting my first year. I started posting the summer before my college started.
Mm-hmm.
And now I had my advising appointment Thursday, and now we're talking about things like senior seminars and grad school, and I'm like, wait, I'm almost done. So it's like time has gone so fast, and I don't like it.
It has. I remember I was doing the victory lap of high school, and I only had one class per semester because I was doing like for stuff for university, and I was sitting in the cafeteria and I was writing while my friends were sitting around me, and they don't know what I'm doing, but I'm typing away at some Dean stuff, and they're like, "Oh, look at Jen, she's typing away. Look at her doing her homework." If only.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I do that all the time. Like, oh yeah, I'm working on homework, and it's not homework.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
Never homework.
I think there's a part of them that kind of knew that I was doing something different, but nobody's ever actually questioned me about it.
I mean, that's the good thing about being a student and a writer. You can write and nobody will know that it's not a paper you're working on.
Exactly.
Like, that's one of the really great things about being a student writer. Yeah, the bad things are you never have any time to do any actual writing.
Yes, definitely.
But
I have been writing since I was 14, 15 years old. Not fan fiction, but
yeah,
well, that too, but without knowing what it was.
Yeah.
So people have never questioned what I'm writing. They are just, oh, you're writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also have friends and family that knows my blog, so it's not something that I'm ashamed of at all. To me, it's writing is writing, and that don't have to be a commercial. It doesn't have to be a commercial thing. It's an art first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And people like Picasso and stuff. They painted for years, and they really didn't make much of it until after they died. And I'm not saying that's fan fiction. I'm just saying we don't look down at them for not earning anything while they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
They were just creating their art. So to me, if you can make people money out of what you love, then yay, more power to you.
Yeah.
But if you don't make money of it, it's still something you love. So just keep doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. I think I started writing when I was really young. Like, I think I was probably 12, 13 when I started. And I didn't know what fan fiction was at the time, but I had the hugest crush on Nathan Scott from One Tree Hill. And I would put myself in little stories about him and I getting together and all that.
Reader inserts before they were cool.
That was, yeah, I actually still have the story. I will never ever share it. It's horrible.
Jen,
yeah.
Stop talking, because I feel like a grandma.
I'm sorry.
You are
I was
grandma.
in my 20s when that show stopped.
Sorry.
But
I remember. I think I've been
Luke has never. I know it was him it was about, but he annoyed the living crap out of me for the first few seasons. He grew on me eventually, but
I don't know, season 5 when he went with Lindsay.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No,
but I just think season 5 was kind of a little awkward.
Yeah.
I literally remember writing in elementary school. I did legit writing like mini commissions for my friends. They wanted a story written about them, so I wrote it. I just never put it until about college. I never put it together like, oh, you've been writing.
Yeah.
Since you write. I just never put it together.
I think that's also why I say that I started writing at 14, 15, because that's when I became aware.
It never clicked until in end of high school, college.
Yeah. Because I have a notebook somewhere where I wrote X-Files fanfiction.
Oh,
that's awesome.
When I was 10 years old, I wrote little cases and it wasn't reader insert. I didn't write myself in. I actually think I have one where I wrote an OC as their daughter or something like that. So that was kind of writing myself into it. but it was just I always love supernatural stuff, so I was just coming up with cases for them to solve in my head and writing them down. So and that was fan fiction. I just had no idea that was what I was doing.
Yeah.
And my mom knew and always encouraged it because it was a creative thing. So
you know the thought that I just had. We should have your mom on here to talk about little Kari writing. Just saying.
No!
I support this.
No. We should absolutely not have my mom on anything. That would be Karina digs herself into a hole and doesn't appear until 2020.
I can make it happen. Okay, so I don't know how we got derailed. Oh, we got derailed on how long we've been writing fanfics for. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys,
so it wasn't really a derail. We were actually just talking about it for a while.
Yeah. Technically, yeah. I can agree to that.
What did you start writing genre-wise?
It was always romance for me. Always romance type happy stuff. You know, the guy gets the girl or the girl gets the guy. My favorite movie growing up was always a Cinderella story, so I was always sort of into that, like, oh my god, the final kiss kind of stuff. And I always want two characters to get together in a show or a TV show, like, or a movie or something like that. So I wanted to do something similar to that when I started.
I think I wrote little fluffy moments just to start. And then I fell into the everybody wants to read smut. And I wrote a lot of smut for a long time, so much that I actually almost stopped writing because I was writing what people wanted and not what I wanted.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to actually see that. And I actually think Rachel helped me come to terms with that. That I shouldn't care so much about. If I kept my readers, then I kept my readers. But if I didn't, then I wouldn't. And if but I would lose them anyway if I kept writing something I didn't want to write because
people can tell when you're passionate about something. I found you have to love what you write. That's a rule that I live by. If I don't love it, I don't post it or write it even.
Yeah. Rachel?
Yeah.
What did you start writing genre-wise?
I started posting smut. That's what I started with, which is kind of seems out of the ordinary, but that's what I kind of built it on, which is a really, really shaky foundation. Let's just be real.
It's very shaky.
I don't think it's
for starting that way.
I don't think it's not normal though, because I think a lot of people when they aren't in the fan fiction world, they think that's what fan fiction is.
A lot of people, yeah. That's what I thought it was at the beginning.
And I'm not dissing smut at all. It's really, really hard to write, and there's some amazing smut writers out there. And we had Jen on, Gil on. Too many J's. Gil on along with Steph. You can see it's phenomenal. But there's also a lot more than. Yes, she's a smut writer, but she's a lot more than just a smut writer. She's a storyteller, first and foremost.
Yeah. I give big props to people who can write the way, like, smut like that. Honestly, I'm in the middle of writing one of the parts for More Than a Fling right now, and it's got some smut in it. I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to close this for a little while, and I'm going to come back to it a little later because it's really hard to get into that mind frame. You got to be in a certain mind frame to write something like that, I feel.
Yeah.
I have actually written the start and end, and crap, now I need to get back to smut.
It's fun to write, but it's definitely challenging.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's not really even. I like when I do it right, I like the result of it, but I do not like writing it. It's like pulling teeth, and it's like pulling teeth every time. And I'm not bashing people that love writing smut and are really, really good at it. That's amazing. It's just not like that for me. For me, it's really like pulling teeth.
I enjoyed it.
And it's not for Rachel. I don't know if it has kind of become that event, but it's not if you're in the right state of mind, is it? You're good at writing it when you're in the.
You have jumped all over the place that you lost me.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
You lost me. What are you talking about now? I don't even know what you're talking about.
About how easy it comes to you to write smut.
I mean, it's not. I feel like I kind of just turn myself off, and I can just write it, and if I don't think about it too hard.
Yes, definitely.
It's like
that might be my problem. I overthink everything.
Yes, so much.
Problem.
So I just kind of turn it off and just write. And I mean, that's kind of my method for everything. It's not really just smut. I just kind of turn off and just go at it. And then something happens, and then I send it to Kari, and she makes it readable.
Yeah, I remember.
We're working at a collab right now, and Rachel is writing 2 paragraphs. And she's like, can you go up and make it pretty? Huh?
Well,
I can add a shit ton of words, if that's what you mean, Rachel, but I don't know if I can make it pretty.
Kari and I just write. So, my mom is wanting to FaceTime me. Okay, I'm gonna turn my mic off and get my mom off the phone. So
that's fine. Okay. We'll just gonna continue.
We'll talk.
Yeah. What is your favorite genre to write? Is that fluff, or is it a you can also say a combination of something?
What my favorite genres?
Yeah.
Right now, I've really taken a liking to writing flanked. And it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier about how like it has got some fluffy moments, but I've recently written a couple that start off kind of angsty, like someone gets kidnapped or something bad happens, and then it's the making up and the making sure everything's okay at the end kind of stuff that I've kind of taken a liking to writing. It's definitely one of my favorites. I also would like to blame Rose for that because she's starting to turn me a little bit on the angst train.
Can you turn her into a little more fluff person, maybe?
I'm so proud of that. That's like one of my accomplishments right there.
I made her write the eating in the shower thing.
Oh my god. She messaged me afterwards and she's like, Jen, go read what I just wrote. I'm like, okay. So I got home from work and I'm reading it and I literally think, what did I just read?
You think about being at the receiving end of that conversation as it was going on.
Oh my god! And then she sends me a picture of her eating something in the shower later.
Yeah, she sent me. That's how it started. She sent me a snap of her eating bread in the shower. If people don't know, Rose is Winchester Writes on Tumblr, and you should go follow her. Winchester.
You really should. You will not regret it. She's my favorite. She's my best.
And she's a little weirdo, and it's amazing, and it's funny.
I love her, and I hate her brother. I hope that Rose listens to this, and her brother listens to this, because I hate her brother.
I don't know her brother.
You don't know her brother? Oh my god, her brother says, every single time that I talk to Rose over Skype, her brother comes in, and he says, yo, where's my maple syrup? And what's with your Canadian bacon? Every time.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure if he tried to make fun of me, he would have to actually figure out where Denmark is located. So good luck with that.
Definitely.
I had a person talk to me, and it's not in the supernatural fanfic realm. It's just a friend that likes a band a friend of a friend that likes the same band as we do.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh my God, I thought you were from Scandinavia." Yeah, Denmark is in Scandinavia, but Denmark is a country, right? Yeah, and Europe is a collection of countries, and Scandinavia is in Europe, which is also a collection of countries, and Denmark is one of those.
Yeah.
So I'm both in Europe, in Scandinavia, and in Denmark. But well done.
Oh man.
I talking about this genre thing, and you talked about romance stuff is the favorite thing that you like to write. Do you sometimes think that having the three big genres, or four if you add crack, is kind of narrow to describe it?
Kind of, I guess, because I guess every relationship's different. When you think about romance and stuff like that, everybody's relationship, everybody's connection to the other is different. And I do like to change that up when I do write that stuff.
But I also think with books, you have horror stories, you have thrillers, you have romance novels, and you have a lot of these different subgenres that are attached to it, and we don't have that in fan fiction.
No, not technically. I kind of wish we did have kind of like more of a variety of stuff instead of those four. I mean, I definitely think we could do horror.
Yeah.
Technically, if you want to stay in the supernatural realm of like what happens on the show, that could definitely be another in there.
It was like with the Kill Zone that I was writing, and people ask me, "What is it?" Well, it has elements of all the genres in it, but it's really to me, it's a thriller.
A thriller, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not really allowed to say that because that's not fan fiction. That's a novel, and it's gonna be a novel now. So now I can call it a thriller like I want to. But it's still, yeah. I still think it's those three genres are really narrow at describing it because
they are,
especially the series work.
It
Because
is. Yeah.
I have read a lot of angsty series and a lot of fluffy series and smutty series, and even though they fall under that, they also falls under a million different things as well. So sometimes I think it's it's a shame that we are so so grown into those.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people are kind of getting out of that a little bit. At least with maybe they don't name their stuff that, but they are aware of what they are writing when they are writing it.
Yeah.
People know if they are writing a horror story, if they are writing a.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good when people warn on things. At least then you kind of know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah,
that's one thing I really like.
I like it's like the period fics, which and we're having on next week again. It's ATC or is it ACT? I can never remember.
Just Ange. I
always have yeah. But is it ACT or ATC?
It is ATC 74.
Yeah, the numbers I remember. Every time I try and check, I'm like, look, why doesn't it? Oh, I switched to TNC again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's been writing a lot of period fics. And Rose has a period fic as well. I really love.
Yeah. I just posted one. I have two now that I think about it. I posted one a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week.
And that's impressive. Writing in period, to be honest. That's
good
hard.
It was Feel My Roar, I think, was the one who requested that.
Yeah.
I love when she requests things. If she listens to this, I hope she knows that.
I think she's just amazing at leaving feedback, and
she is, yeah,
and sending asks, and she has sent asks for the show in the past.
Great. Very great.
She's a very active follower and someone that's great to have around your blog. Okay, so while Rachel is still trying to get rid of her mom, what is your favorite trope?
I have a few. I mean, I think it's obvious by now with the Perfect series that I love the friends to lovers trope.
Yes.
Definitely a very good fit. It's a favorite of mine, just because I really want that to happen to me in real life. No word of a lie.
And it's also, I love that we kind of have everything in a real people fandom. We have the couple that fell in love in high school and are still together
Yes.
30 years later, and we have the love at first sight couple, and we have the two that has been friends forever before they fell in
Yep.
love and got married. And I
Yeah.
think it's amazing that you have. To me, that's something that's encouraging to everyone, because we have different views on what love is and what love is supposed to be.
Exactly.
But more than just loving them as people and thinking they are beautiful people, it's that their love story is also the one that speaks to me the most.
Yes, I love a good love story. We already know that.
Yeah.
Love stories.
And it
What's
doesn't
your
help
favorite?
when we stand in front of walls and that says love is love, or
Yeah.
I love you so much, or
Yeah.
stop it before my heart explodes.
Yes. But what's your favorite trope?
Oh, I love friends to lovers as well. Which is the main reason I love writing Neil so much too. I think there's a lot of story that's from before they were a couple. And I love to write or to read. I don't think I ever written a real bed sharing one. Not in the sense, not in the that's how we fall in love kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I um I love to write the reader as one of J2's sibling sister. Or I have done that a lot. I have written her as Daniel's sister, and it's ex Misha, and I have written Jensen's sister, that's ex Jared, and Jared's sister, ex Jensen. And it's really fun to play around with those dynamics, because they are so close. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Very yes. I don't think I haven't written anything like that just yet.
I'm so sorry, guys.
You're back. We missed you so much.
I have the heat of the moment that turned into a series that's Jensen X Jared's sister. And that was really, really fun to write, to have, and she is not just Jared's sister, she's Jared's little sister.
Yeah.
So have him react to not finding them in bed together per se, but walking in the next morning where clothes is kind of scattered around, and have his really exaggerated reaction to, yeah, you may be my best friend, but that's my little sister.
Yeah.
There was a charge on the credit card that she wanted to make sure was me, which it was. And you guys would have laughed at this part, but she started interrogating me on if there's any guys that I've been interested in. And I'm like, Mom, why? Why?
Why?
I don't know.
Are we scared to send little sister up to rebellious big sister?
I mean, she's like, well, I know you've been going out.
This is really, really funny, because if you know those two, it's really the other way around. Rosie is the opinionated, stubborn one.
Well, you've been going out a lot. You've been hanging out with friends. Just, if there are any guys you're interested in? I'm like, Mom, I would tell you. I don't know if you would tell me. I would tell you. I promise. I'm like,
secret. Just next time, say, if you're in doubt, just ask me. Because even if you don't tell Mom, you would tell me.
I will answer that right now.
If you don't believe me, just ask Karina. Okay, Rachel, since you came back, what's your favorite trope?
2 seconds. Let me text my mom. What would you say?
Mom, seriously, there's no voice. Send her a picture of Dean.
That's what I would do. A GIF.
See, I told her, I was like, Mom, most parents want their kids in college to just focus on school. I'm trying to just focus on school, and you're not letting me.
Exactly.
My mom did that once, where she was, do you have a new boyfriend? Do you, no, Mom. Yeah, but are you sure? And then I just ended up sending her a picture of Jensen. And her reaction was, I don't think Danielle is gonna like that. It depends. We can just add her into the mix. I'm okay with that.
I leave and the conversation deteriorates.
Let's be real, it would if you were here too.
Very true.
You can just tell us what your favorite trope is.
Why do you always say throat? There's no TH. There's no H.
Trope. I don't know. That's how I pronounce it.
That makes the TH sound of throat. But there's no H in trope.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Rachel?
Yes?
What is it?
I don't.
See, I knew that. She's bickering because she doesn't have an answer.
I am bickering because I don't have one, and you're going to keep bickering until I tell you an answer, and I don't have one.
We'll come back to you later then. We'll give you some time to think.
There's no thinking because I don't have one.
You totally
yes,
do.
You do.
You have to have one. Come on.
Everyone has one.
Everyone's got a guilty pleasure. What's your guilty trope?
I guess. I'm just thinking about all the stuff that I had to read for yours. Which fic was it? Kind of like, I guess, what was it? I wrote questions. I wrote the questions, but I don't remember this one. I guess I really liked kind of like in Girls' Night. Where it's kind of like they both like each other, but they don't. Neither of them want to say it.
Oh yeah, that's
I like that too.
That's a very good one.
That one's. I guess that. There you go. There's my favorite. There you go.
Yay! And that's just so Dean too. It fits him so well. If you add a dumb reader to it not dumb, but that doesn't really want to speak about how she feels, to Dean that certainly doesn't want to speak about how she feels if he can help it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then poor Sam.
Yeah, poor Sam.
I have to suffer idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have some people that send in asks, and we have Erin, who has been a guest on the show and is a friend of the show, and she's at Black Tide 7.
I love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. What is a quintessence? Rachel, can you read this word for me, because my Danish tongue can't twist that way.
Read it like that.
Yeah. You suck!
Come on, you can do it.
What's the quintessential elements that Fluff was writing? You could just have read it for me.
I did read it for you. It's not my fault if you don't listen to me reading things.
That's funny. Let's see. To answer the question, quintessential elements. It doesn't. It depends on what the fic is really about, really. I mean, a love confession, maybe a kiss would be a nice fluffy mix into it. Oh my god, I think I just okay. I just had a knot in my hair. Sorry. Even just like comfort, like a hug or some cuddling, or just it depends on the situation, really. But like, just
I also think it really also depends on the relationship with.
It does, yeah.
With if it's a daughter reader, if it's a friendship reader, or if it's a romantic or
exactly, yeah,
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think love is the quintessential. You need to express that somehow.
Definitely.
That's kind of the only universal one I can think of, is
Love.
express love in words or actions somehow.
Yeah.
Some kind of affection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even have to.
If you write a fanfic about me and Rachel, it would just be us bickering all the time.
Which is still a form of affection.
It is a form of affection.
Exactly.
It's how you show love.
It's a valid form of affection.
Yes, it is. As Crowley would say, torture all my friends. It's how I show love.
For real.
Poor Misha.
Know how he feels.
Poor Alex and his credit card.
Yes.
Yeah, bless his heart.
He really didn't know what he walked into.
He really did.
And Misha's like, it never gets better.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
See, that's a kind of affection. So that could be, we could write Alex and Jensen and Jared and Misha fluff, and it'd be just them being little, and it's still affection and it's still fluffy.
Yeah.
It's just, they are just overgrown children.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
Okay.
All right, do you want me to read the next one since you read that one?
That's okay. Yeah, you do that. That's a lot of words. You can read that.
Yeah. From Dean Sweetheart 23. Hi there. I have a question for the next writer's room with Jen. Jen, what is the most challenging thing about writing fluff? And what is the element that makes you gravitate towards fluff of mixture of fluff and angst in a fic you're writing / reading?
All right, well, I'll answer the first one first. What's the most challenging thing about writing a fluff fic?
Yeah, we definitely talked about that. So.
We talked about that one, and that's mostly my word count. It's definitely my word count.
I'm not complaining.
No, I'm not complaining either. It's just Rose complains. We already know that.
Rose always complains.
Okay.
She does. She really does.
She's like Rachel. They always complain. Just
I know.
ignore
See,
it.
it's funny. Because every time you guys say Rose, my little sister's name is Rose.
Yeah, I know. I have confused you with that before. And I actually call Rose Rosie sometimes as well, which doesn't make it better.
We'll call her Rosie.
That's what we call my little sister.
Oh, darn it. Okay, we'll call her Rose.
It's Rose or Rosie. So my brain keeps going like, wait, we're not talking about the little one, which taller than me now, and
it's the worst when your younger siblings are taller than you.
it sucks.
It really does.
I'm the youngest, and I'm the tallest.
Shut up. No one asked you.
That's the same how it is in my family. I'm taller than my older sister, and my younger sister's taller than me.
Yeah, Rosie's taller, and yeah, I'm the little one, and she's the youngest. She's 3 years younger than me, and she's still.
Yep.
I think it's fairly normal, though. My best friend Teresa is a little taller than me, and her little sister is a good inch or two taller than her.
You should send links to Teresa, just saying.
I should what now?
You should send links to these to Teresa.
Yeah. I don't think she has the attention span to listen to us ramble for 2 hours, but I can do that.
Anybody does?
Oh yeah.
What is the element that makes you gravitate towards fluff? Or I'm guessing that she wanted to say or a mixture of fluff and
I'm guessing so too, yes.
Why wasn't I not able to put that together?
Because I guess what makes me gravitate towards it is more because I'm looking for an escape when I read and when I write. I mean, I look and I think, you know what? I want to read something happy today because my workday sucked and I just want to go and just hang out with the Winchester clan for a little while. Even if it's if I want to write it or if I want to read it even. And I like that. I like that it's a happier world, even though it's kind of a crappy world that they kind of live in. But it's nice to be there with the characters and people that you kind of want to hang out with, but you never get the chance to.
But it's just, even though it's a crappy world that they live in, they are not. For everything that they have put through, they are still really, really good men.
They
and
are,
I
yeah.
think that's the main thing that attracts me to them.
Yes,
it would
definitely.
be so easy to get jaded and bitter and not give a crap about if you actually save the people that you set up to save in the beginning, as long as you kill the damn monsters that took everything away from you.
Yeah.
And still being able to differentiate if even if it's a monster, there's still witches like Rowena, or the demons like Crowley, or the vampires like Benny, and still be able to see the good in something dark.
Exactly.
Or freaking talk the darkness out of destroying the world.
Yeah. That one's good too, yeah. And for the mixture of fluff and angst, sometimes I feel like you need to have a little bit of angst in it, because not everything in the real world is happy. And not everything is really bad at the same time. And sometimes I feel like you need to have that mixture of fluff and angst to kind of balance each other out. So it's not like, oh my gosh, they're just gonna go cuddle in bed or do this and this. They're gonna, maybe talk about their problems, which could be a little angsty. I mean, look at Dean has a bad hunt or something like that, and he wants to talk about it with somebody. Or just seek the comfort of somebody else that's not his brother or Cass or anybody like that. I kind of like that dynamic. Dean's a soft character, in my opinion. I mean, he's not hard.
Yeah, he is.
He's a badass. he's soft, and that's one of the things I love about him.
And as you can't take, that's just a core of his character. A little 4-year-old boy that rushes up to kiss his little brother goodnight.
Yeah.
That's before anyone told him, you need to take care of this boy, and you need to. It's just who he is. It's not.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like real a lot when I'm writing, and if it's just a short one shot, real can be a fluffy moment lying in bed and just cuddling. But it's also, like I said, with the Danielle fic that I was writing, I have written a lot of fluff for them. And I just wanted to have something where they are not perfect. And
exactly.
It was especially her that's not perfect in this one, but I think he also isn't either. He keeps teasing when that's really not what she needs in that moment. Yeah. So even though hers is more evident, he makes mistakes as well.
Exactly. And I think that's an important element that you need to show when you're writing stuff. Like, not everything's perfect. People make mistakes. You're not creating this unrealistic world where everything is going to work out a certain way, or things are going to be created in a way that is not really what you're going to expect to see in real life, because situations could go either or. And I think it's important to show that situations can do that.
Yeah. And I think no matter how perfect a relationship is, people fight.
People fight.
Yeah, Rachel is one of my best friends, and we fight. It's just it just happens. And it's not the fights that define a relationship. It's how you deal with them.
It's how you deal with it. I think I read something on the Cosmo app thing on Snapchat yesterday on how to tell if your relationship's going to last. And one of the things that it was said on there was the way you fight with your significant other, whether it's a friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It's important to be able to fight about things, but not in a way where you're gaining power or losing power or something like that. You have to be able to come to an agreement and kind of balance each other out in the way that you guys fight. It's not going to be like you didn't do this, you never do this, and this. It's a way of expressing yourself in a way that you need to talk to your partner, because relationships are always about communication and how you communicate with your partner, because you can't expect them to know what you're thinking when you want something. They can't read your mind.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also about compromise. Every relationship is about compromise.
Compromise.
We always come into every relationship with our own baggage or our own point of view and our own ethics and morals, and a lot of that often match up when you're close friends with someone or you're in a relationship with someone, and it kind of has to. But it's also about compromising. It is,
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't expect to be selfish in something. You have everything you want.
And I really like both reading and writing that sort of things, because Dean is a lot of things, and I love him, but he's also stubborn as hell.
Oh yes, he is.
And I know as a person I'm stubborn as hell as well. So there's no way in hell I could be in a relationship with that man without fighting.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So that it's just how it is, and I think no matter what the reason why you fight, if you're frustrated that they can't see themselves the way you see them, or it's being scared that somebody's gonna get hurt, or if it's no matter how selfless the reason your fight is, it's still about listening to each other and compromising.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know how we got to that.
It seems to be happening a lot during this conversation. I like it.
Rachel?
Yeah.
Did we lose you?
Yeah.
No shame, just yes.
I mean, my cat's a brat, guys. I'm sorry.
It's totally okay. My cat's the exact same.
You have 4 dogs and cats?
I have 4 dogs. I have 2 cats, and I have a bunny.
Oh my gosh. Can I come visit? I want to come. Wait, no, you're in Canada. Never mind.
I'm in Canada. I don't recommend coming right now because I'm pretty sure right now the temperature here is it's -3 degrees Celsius. So that's what.
I want to go to Vancouver.
It's a little cold here.
And I want to sit visit and just
see. Mine is,
and there's also a lot of other places in Canada. I always love Canada for some reason. I don't know. I just did.
I'm from Georgia.
I wanna go to Montreal. It's kind of the Paris of Canada, and I wanna go there.
No, can't do it.
I would no. I'm not allowed. I have to go to the audience. Dolphin in Clips said, what's your inspiration and how do you move past the hate? What's your inspiration? Let's start with that.
My inspiration, I get inspiration from like the littlest things. I mean, watching the show is definitely one of them that's inspired me to write for this family. It's definitely I'm rewatching the series over again right now, and we're on season 7. And it's the little things and like little things in the episodes that I pick up on, and I want to write little continuations on it or something like that. And it's the stuff that that happens in my everyday life that I get an idea for. I have a lot of time to think at my job, so I definitely have that, like, kind of my mind keeps going, and because I don't want to be there, I'd rather be somewhere else. So I think about maybe I escape when I work. So I think about the different things like that.
What about you, Rachel? What's your inspiration? Rachel?
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm not good at this.
It's kind of a complicated question to think about, like, what your inspiration is, because it can change day to day. Sorry.
A lot of my inspiration, like, I'm just thinking about emergency services right now. Because that's kind of my main fluff fic at the moment, and that's kind of like my main project, I guess.
Yeah.
That I'm working on. Besides our collab, which we're not talking about yet. really. We keep talking about it, but we're not talking about it.
Well, our duty is for the angst bingo, so it's gonna be out before November 30th.
Okay.
It says in March.
But we're also us, so.
Yes.
But a lot of like right now my inspiration is really coming from I've made Pinterest boards.
Yes, Pinterest.
So much because like I just wrote a baby shower one.
Ooh.
And so like inspiration came for half the drabble. They're all drabbles, so they're not really even one shots really.
Mm-hmm.
But like one of them came from something I found on Pinterest that Chrissy gives to the reader. Kari, that's the bracelet one.
Yeah.
Which I love because
this boob next.
The thing just says the bracelet just says this one next, and the idea is you switch it from arm to arm to keep you on track with which side you're feeding from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Chrissy's being a smart ass about it, and but another thing I'm inspired by is kind of I've been watching one of the YouTubers have been having that I watch has been having like virtual baby showers.
Oh, cool.
It's like she's sitting down with her and her husband and she's showing what they've been receiving from like as a virtual baby shower. So like watching that kind of stuff is inspiring, but there's kind of a lot of different random things that come along. I'm like, oh, that'll be a good idea. Or if I'll be sitting in ancient Rome lecture and I don't want to listen, so I'm just like thinking, okay, so brainstorm.
Basically, yeah.
Because she posts all of her lecture notes online. There's no point in taking notes because she lectures too fast.
Yeah.
Me, I don't want to sit there and listen. I just show up for the attendance.
Basically.
So yeah, my inspiration comes from kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it's just like the little things.
Little things kind of snowball into an actual plot bunny, and then do people still use the term plot bunnies?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends. I think.
I feel like that's an old fan fiction term.
Yeah.
I'm showing how long
I also think it's just what different people call things. Plot bunnies is to some circles. Like when I talk to Steph, we kind of have I use the term idealet, and she knows what it means, and I doubt that anyone else knows what it means. And it's an idealet is a little moment or something like that. It's not a full fic. It's just something that maybe could develop into a fic at some point.
At some point.
Yeah. So, and I actually think it's her term that I adopted. So, it's just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to answer it?
Yes.
Yes. Well, Ties That Binds is work inspired. Some are just purely inspired of the show.
Yeah.
It's me wanting to say something to one of the brothers. And then there are my Danielle fics that are a lot of them are inspired of what Jensen says at cons or what they say in brewery interviews or little moments like that. I also have it's gonna be written at some point, but I'm gonna write something for the Mardi Gras pictures of Danielle and JJ. Gonna write Daddy into that one with the stuck zipper. Because that sassy face looks just like Jensen, and just have both of them sass mom.
Yes.
I'm just like, no, mom, it's stuck. You still have baby weight. We need that. Yeah. Music inspires me a lot. I think a lot of my fics are inspired by Ed Sheeran songs and Yeah, but generally songs that tells a story already that I can kind of tell in a different way. So yeah. And then the heavy part of this question: how do you move past the hate?
Well, recently I've just stopped replying to most of it.
Yeah.
There's no point. I mean, someone is literally sitting behind a computer, typing out something just to be mean. What's the point in answering?
Is that dealing with it, or is that moving past it? Because even if you don't reply to it, that's your way of dealing with it. You have still read it. It's still in your head.
Yeah, but it's one person's opinion. I mean, some days when I'm having a bad day and I get a message like that, it's definitely it dampers my mood, and sometimes I just log off, don't even come back on for a while. But I don't really see a point in answering it unless it really, really bugs me or it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because some of the ones I've gotten are just they don't know what they're saying.
Well, there you go. I don't get hate. I'm lucky, and I don't get hate often. Not like Kari does. Not like a lot of other people do. So I can't really chime in too much on this one.
Yeah. Well, I was aware what I was doing when I started writing all the Danielle fics and when I created the Danielle Love Fest on my blog. I was very familiar with that little part. I don't even want to say corner of the fandom because you can't be a fan and treat people like that.
No, you can't. I mean, it's one thing.
I really don't care if we say, well, but we care about Jensen and he's miserable and it's his wife. You're disrespecting him.
Yeah, you are.
And you're talking shit about his kids as well.
Yeah.
And so I knew by doing those things that I would be painting a target on my back. But the thing is that if you spend every waking moment stalking her Twitter, stalking her Instagram to see how many pictures she posts of which kid, or count numbers of her followers she has when, or make up stories and dig up old rumors and make up stories and use them for facts. Well, my friend said this and my friend said that, or they met her then, or she once said this, but you can't back any of it up. It's just stories that have been spun and they keep growing, and so what if some of it's true? I don't really care. Because honestly, I am not always the most polite person either.
No,
if people keep kicking me, of course I'm gonna kick back.
Exactly.
And the amount of shit that people have sent her. I remember when she used to respond to some of that hate before she kind of disappeared off Twitter and reappeared when Jensen was there, because I think it was more safe somehow, and it is. People they still do it, but not to the extent that they did.
No, now it's just the same people making multiple accounts about it.
Yeah. And thinking that you don't know who they are.
Exactly.
But I was aware. And it's also, listen, there are actors I don't like. There are actresses I don't like. I don't spend my day making hateful blogs about them. I don't spend my day going on their Instagram and Twitter and find people that things that anger me or I can make stories about. I just ignore them. I pretend they don't exist.
Exactly.
And it has nothing to do with Jensen is married to her or was dating her and I think I have to like her. Jensen has the most in my opinion, horrible ex-girlfriend in the world. So it has nothing to do with that. But I have never said anything. I have said I don't like her, but I have never sent her stuff. I have never posted
Nope.
anything about her. And it's and I can respect people saying we don't like her because of who we think she is as a person, or we don't like her because we don't think she's a good actress. And I can respect that, but just keep it to that and respect that Jensen loves her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think the dealing with it now is I block everything. If I get the IPs, I both block them and I post them to my blog.
Yeah.
I'm so done with the. I'm done playing nice. I'm done just saying, hey, I know where you live and how is the weather in wherever. I'll literally post the IPs because maybe it can prevent someone else from having hate because they can block it before they do.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also want to say I am really, really sure before I post these IPs. I don't. I had someone that sent me an ask, but I live in Detroit, and now I'm afraid to send you stuff. To send on and on, and I can see you live in Detroit, but it also comes in at different IP addresses.
It does. Yeah.
So and I don't just post an IP address without. If I'm at my computer and see it come in, I can see it goes to my ask, and I can see if it goes to a fic. I am really, really sure before I post them. I don't just post them.
Yeah.
And I also have IPs that I have listed on docs that I suspect, but I don't post them because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And to be completely honest, if you are not that safe, if you keep doing it, I have also people I have figured out whose IPs it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a nun might be a nun, but you're not safe.
No, you're never safe.
And karma's a bitch, man.
Yeah. To quote Danielle, karma is patient.
Yeah.
But moving past it, I think it's just. I think we use each other. I think there's there are very tight knit groups in the fandom that just always have each other's backs, and it's even if it's not just in the tight knit groups, it's also there's just a right and a wrong.
Yeah.
I can disagree with people a lot. A lot of things that I disagree with that happen in the fandom, but it doesn't make me send them hate. It's stupid. If you have something to say, at least put your damn name behind it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, this got really heavy really fast, so let's move on.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be about fluff, guys.
Yeah, but it also doesn't help, and it doesn't help that there's some idiot that there's some person that keeps sending hate to Anna, to me, and to Steph. They don't send it to Steph, but they mention her and send it to me and Jen and Anna, and I'm just at some point we're gonna figure out who it is, and it's gonna be plastered all over every blog. And it's just not gonna be the IP, it's gonna be whose damn blog it belongs to.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Kari's coming for you, and that's a dangerous thing to be.
Yeah, but you can call me whatever you want and be a bitch to me, but just keep my friends out of it.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Which honestly is half the reason I think I don't get hate as much, because they know because Kari and I are so close, and it's kind of it's a very different relationship than what most people have. Like we've said before, we're literally friends with each other's moms on Facebook.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
She knows my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's if Kari's a pit bull in the best way possible. If he figured out who sent me hate,
Mm-hmm.
hell would rain down upon them.
I would love to see that though.
I think people know that.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. They know who they can target and who they are going to get a rise out of more than anything else.
And I also think there's just some people who think they can put a pin between some people that they think that yeah, I'm close with Anna, I'm close with Steph, I'm close with you, I'm yeah, and I'm close with Taylor and stuff. But if we send them something, maybe we can start something, and
Mm-hmm.
and we can sit back and be the reason that they are not friends anymore. And it's just not gonna happen. It's
No,
just
it's not.
you people are just
Mm-hmm.
we are not that dumb. If you think that you're the person that maybe need to ask for some of your education money back because
Yeah.
your teachers didn't do a very well good job. Yeah. Well, it's just to summarize, don't send hate. It's not there are people behind the computers, there are people behind everything, and
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't care about that, it's gonna bite you in the ass eventually.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Alrighty. From Sandy Lee 44. Question for Jen. How do you decide how much fluff you want to be in your stories, and do you like mixing them up or just doing fluff? Love you and your writing. Just had to tell you that again.
Oh, she's so sweet.
I actually love how she said it. How do you decide how much you fluff?
Oh, that's awesome. She's great. I love her messages. Oh, how do I decide how much fluff I want to be in it? Well, I think I want a realistic amount of fluff. You know, you don't want to go overboard and do it so that nobody will understand what I'm saying, but I don't want it to be less than, what's expected. You don't just have like a quick hug. Okay, go to bed. Bye. Like you got to think about what the situation might be like in real life, or if you were actually in that world.
Also, I think it
And
kind of also depends on the character
it does depend on the character.
because you can make Jensen say a lot more fluffy things than you can make Dean say.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would say a lot of it as a joke or kind of play it off as a joke, even though he means it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of more show. I show it kind of a person. It's not
Yeah.
like the bitch joke thing is I love you, or when he says come here and give Sam a hug. It's I love you. He just doesn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I don't think he would say it if he was in a long-term relationship with someone. I think he would. I just don't think he's not the type of person, canonly, at least, because he's afraid of losing. That says it 50 times
Mm-hmm.
in the span of 5,000 words.
Yeah.
Um. So it's yeah. Whereas I think Sam would be more vocal.
Yeah.
Um.
Because Sam has more experience with a significant other than Dean does.
And
And
he has never lost everything. Dean,
yeah.
yeah, he has, but Dean, not purposely.
Yeah.
No, everyone has never walked away from Sam.
Mm-hmm.
He chose to walk away. Dean has been left.
Yeah.
Um, whereas as people it has always been Sam's choice to walk or make Dean walk.
Mm-hmm.
So he always knew that he could return to him. And I know that the purgatory thing is different, or when he dies is different, but that's not a conscious choice Dean made. He didn't leave his brother because he wanted to leave his brother.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Um, so I think there's a difference in that.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that doesn't mean I don't think Sam is afraid of losing, because I
Yeah. Because I
very
mean,
much think that he is.
Yeah. He shows things a lot differently than Dean does.
I think he's more. I think Dean is a type of person that would save one person, even if it means that 20 might get killed, because he stands in front of the person and sees that happening, while Sam is more a big picture kind of a guy, and I think it's easier for him to sacrifice one to save 20. Not that it's easy, but I think it's more how he thinks and feels, and I think it's the same way with. I think Sam is more in the. I think he's somewhat better at being in the now when he's not really depressed. That this is. I have all of these things now, so let's make the best of it. Whereas Dean often is afraid what's gonna hit them right around the corner. Because he's the oldest and the one that always had to take care of his slutty little brother, and that's not who Sam is anymore necessarily, but that's still ingrained in him. Yeah. So I think it depends on who you write for. What's it too much? But
I don't even know what question Karina was answering there.
I say, it depends.
Yeah.
And it also depends if it's AU or not, don't you think?
Exactly, it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
The characters need to be recognizable, but you can still, if they didn't lose their mom when they was really young, and if their dad didn't change the way that he did, then the world is a little different.
I have learned that Kari can take a question and transform it into something completely different and just keep going. And I don't know how she does that.
I think that's a very good skill to have.
Yeah, I agree. And I kind of think you always, Rachel, you asked me once how we are doing a collab, and Rachel is annoyed that I can write 3 paragraphs before I stop. That's how I do that. That's how I do that. It's one thought spins into another and spins into another before I need a break. As Rachel writes a sentence and thinks and writes a sentence and thinks, and both is ways to do it, and it's just But I still love doing a collab with someone because words magically appear on the page.
Unless you're writing with Rachel and then words take forever to appear on.
I don't care. They still magically appear without me having to do anything.
I've never actually done a collab fic with anybody, so it's all relies on me.
It's great.
It's the first. Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's wonderful, but it's also a very much pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's also not something I would do with just anyone. I say it's. I'm a control freak, and Rachel knew that before she got into this. But I also think she's the person that I'm able to let go the most with.
It's good to have someone like that, though. It's very good to have somebody like that.
Was there another part of that question?
No. Yeah. How do you like mixing them up? Do you like mixing them up or just doing fluff? I think we talked a little bit about that before, too.
I do like mixing it up from time to time. A little bit of angst. Depends on how I'm feeling. I could do a little bit of smut in there, too. Depends. Ooh. Depends on what you're feeling that day, right? Or how the story's going to go, and if it fits in. It's nice to have a little bit of a mix-up, so people aren't going to expect a certain thing of you.
Yeah.
When they read it, they're going to like, oh, this is different. I like reading this. So it's not like the same thing over and over again.
I'm sorry. It's like a little Hermione of dogs barking in the background.
Oh, God, you could hear that? It's feeding time right now. So I'm in my basement and the dogs are on the floor above me. So they're walking around and barking, and it's dinner time. It's their favorite time of day, other than bedtime. I like
And
bedtime.
now they're quiet, so I'm guessing that the food reached the floor.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that loud. I have to hear it. Yeah, that's my dogs for you.
Yeah,
Okay, and then yeah, she just makes a. Does she do that where she cuts off and just makes a hole in the middle of the bowl and decides it's empty, even if it's still full?
No, she eats everything. But about a certain time every morning, about 7:30 every morning, she's like, "Okay, it's lunch, it's breakfast. Get up, it's breakfast."
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I don't know how to.
Oh, I think I'm back. Sometimes it's just a matter of turning on and off the mic.
Do that. I'm just, yeah.
But I think it's fine now. Okay, Anan said, "Hello, I hope this is okay. I have a question for the writer's room for Jen. My name is Kat, and I was wondering, how are you able to come up with such amazing ideas for stories? Also, if it's okay, if you wouldn't mind sharing what we can look forward to in the sequel to More Than a Fling." I think she means More Than a Fling, which is the sequel to Summer Fling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many flings, then it's confusing.
I kind of feel like this is the one that was messaging us a few weeks back about you trying to get spoilers out of me.
Yeah, I think that's right. How about we start with, how do you get the amazing ideas? How did you, if we are specific, how did you get the idea for that one? Because we
For
talked in
Summer
general
Fling?
before. Yeah.
Summer Fling specifically, I remember I was going out to dinner and we were driving home on the highway to get back home, and I just thought, wow, let's do a story about the reader being Bobby's daughter and her living in with him for the summer to get away from like her mom or whatever. And it just kind of transformed into this whole entire story and then a whole other story. And sometimes I wonder how that even happened. Yeah.
That's the best kind, though. If people ask me how I came up with Living with Regrets, I'll just sit here with my mouth open for an hour and wondering, yeah, I don't know. It was a drabble, and then the drabble became a one-shot, and then the one-shot somehow became a series that had a lot of drabbles afterwards. I don't know.
They're good. I enjoy it. It's good. Good stories are formed that way, I think.
And More Than a... We mean the link to More Than a Fling, because you just wrecked Summer Fling.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Do you want both or one?
I have the first one because you self-wrecked that one, so I just need the one to the sequel. So More Than a Fling.
I'll just put it on the end of that ask thingy. There you go.
Okay. And okay, spoilers, Jen.
Oh, this question's gonna kill me. I'm trying.
I'm not gonna let go because you were stupid enough to self-wreck Summer Fling, and if you think I'm not gonna bring up the next one, then
yeah, I know. I was more wishful thinking. Let me think of something that I can kind of tease. Oh, I can tease the next part.
Oh my god.
I can do that one. I can do that one because I'm gonna post that one, probably not tonight, but sometime this week. It's 8,000 words long.
Hey guys, voiceover Rach is back again. Where Jen had to step out right at the end of the last clip, so we are back at it with part 2 right here, and you have my intro once again in just a second. Enjoy the rest of the video until part 3, and I'll be back then. See ya. Hey guys, we are back. Welcome back to part 2 of week 10 for Writer's Room. We're back with Jen.
I'm Jen.
And quick announcement, I'm currently cooking in the background. So if you hear the sounds of frying rice, there you go.
And Yen came back to give us all the spoilers.
You wish. All right. So I know I already teased that it's 8,000 words long. I haven't edited it yet. But this part is one of the parts that you guys have been waiting for since.
Also, you do realize this is not going to post until Sunday, so if you give us spoilers for a part you're going to post, then it's not really a spoiler.
This is true. That's very true. Oh, you. Wow.
I should have just let you finish before I said that, so I got both.
You just blew my mind right there. I don't know how I didn't see that one coming. I could be horrible and then wait until after this and then post it.
No. No, I think you should just go on and post it tonight. Just
tonight?
Just post it. Yeah.
I'll think about it. All right. Okay. Well, basically, this part has it's a big part of what this series is going to continue to be. The next part coming up has a lot to do with Dean and what his life was like growing up. So, if we think back to, I think it was part 7 of Summer Fling when they're at the Winchester's house and they're doing the 4th of July activities, and Sam has this conversation with Dean about his fling with the reader. And Sam asks if he wants something more or if he's holding it back because of Lisa, or if it's something to do with John and Mary and their relationship. We're going to find out what exactly that means.
And what does that mean? Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you. I want you guys to read
it. But again, when you post this, when we post this, you have already posted that. So this is no longer a spoiler for all the people that are going to tune in.
It's technically a spoiler for you because you haven't read it yet.
I know, but I'm not the one who asked the question. That was the point on. I'm just doing her job.
This is true. This could be interesting if I do share.
You don't have to share. You don't make her make
share. Yes, she has to, because those nuns have been asking me 3 times in my ask box to get her to do it before we even got a date. So now I'm getting her to do it.
Oh, that's no.
You don't want to.
Or you can breathe, and we are gonna return to it when we talk about Summer Fling. And I'm not gonna let you do a rapid fire before you answer the question.
We'll see. I gotta think of a way to kind of spoil, quotation marks around spoil, but not really for the rest of what's to come.
Can't you just do it, Jensen, and say it's an eye opener and eyes turns black, or he wants to be in the dinosaur area? Then there's dinosaurs.
I'm trying to think of a way.
He's annoyingly good at that, you know. He does it purposefully, while the other just blurts something out.
I mean,
though I think Jensen might actually almost just have revealed a death before anyone else did.
Yes, the dinosaur thing. Yes, I was there when he revealed that. Oh my god! But it didn't clue into me until I was like, oh my god, I remember that.
It's the same thing with the season finale of 9. It's gonna be an eye opener. You're an idiot.
I'll see if I can think of a way to do it like that within the next little while before we get to talking about Summer Fling, which is very soon.
Okay, so Anna Percy Winchester, 27, who is also a friend of the show, and we're trying to get her on.
That's a good idea.
How do you guys make sure you don't overdo the fluff? So I guess it becomes cheesy, is what she's saying.
I think so. Yeah, I think when it becomes easy. And
I'm always scared that I'll add unnecessary fluff and it will be monotone. Rachel, that's a word I can't pronounce.
What?
Anna's question. She's afraid to make it monotonous. Monotonous. Thank you. How do you balance that? Much love.
I definitely think it's to the point where, I mean, some cheesy's okay. I mean, I'm a pretty cheesy person when it comes to like jokes and stuff like that, but I think when it becomes kind of almost cringeworthy kind of cheesy, then I think it's at the point where you just kind of go back a little bit. Back it up.
I honestly think Anna is pretty damn good at that herself. I don't know if you guys are reading Tic-Tac-Toe, but the relationship with Sam and the reader in that one is she has a dirty kind of flirting to the relationship that's really cute and
that is
upbeat
cute. It's
and
cute
fun.
when you do
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Definitely, I like that.
So she's actually really good at that, even if she doesn't think she is.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's a very good writer. I love her work.
Anna is amazing.
She is.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
And she's so great at. Also, she's as good a reader as she is a writer. She's very good at. Yeah. So no, how do you not overdo it? How?
Well, for me, I plan out a lot of my fics before I write them. I never used to. I used to just kind of go with the flow, but I do a lot of outlining and make a list of things that I want to happen in the fic so that it doesn't become too much and it doesn't drag on to something that doesn't really matter and doesn't obtain to the story. That's one way I do it. I also really love outlining. The organization part of me.
Rose.
Who loves outlining? I do it, but I also don't do a lot of it because I can't stick to it. Because Dean, who I mostly write, is an ass, and he doesn't follow my outline. He does what he pleases.
Mm-hmm. I like to outline because it makes me, at least I know where my story's going. I like so I stay.
No, I do that. I do that. But I don't do it in details at all.
No,
like
I do. Mine's pretty bad. I think. Hold on, let me pull up my outline because I have my outline for. Let's see. Hold on. I think my outline for Summer Fling was 35,000 words. That is so bad.
That's a that's a series in of itself.
Yeah, it is. A lot. I did stick to most of it. Let's see how much the outline is for More Than a Fling. I think it's longer. And I don't think I've outlined it fully either.
I'm just gonna look at my
48,725 words is my More Than a Fling outline.
You said that's not done yet?
Yeah, I haven't completely outlined it yet. I have 25 parts outlined.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah.
And how many parts is it gonna be?
I'm thinking somewhere between 28 and 30.
Okay, so I have my Tyset bind. That's gonna be 20, somewhere between 21 and 23. Mm-hmm. It kind of depends how. I have a lot happening in a few of the chapter, so I'm kind of thinking they might split.
Yeah, that's good too. I have that one for the Christmas part for this because it just got
but that's 2,101.
Wow.
My outline.
You guys are nuts.
Yeah, I have to say I don't write action very well. So if I want a semi-decent action scene, which there's gonna be a few of, this spoiler alert, but Dean is a cop, then I have to do that. I have to outline it pretty particularly. If it had been a love story, it wouldn't have been half of that.
Yeah.
But with action, I have to do it in detail, or I'm gonna get stuck and grumpy, and I'm gonna yell at Aaron, who is my beta.
I feel like action is one of the harder things to write because there's so much detail that goes into what's happening, and you want people to be able to understand and kind of see what's happening at the same time.
Yeah, but without saying everything too.
Exactly.
You can have I think the thing is, you need to know, if you are writing a sword fight, you need to know everything that goes into a sword fight. When to do what, so you need to do a lot of research, but you also need to be okay with it's not 1/10 of that research that actually goes into the fic.
Exactly.
You just need to be aware of it to write it, but if you write every theory and every movement and every action you have been researching, you're gonna lose your readers.
It's just gonna become a jumbled kind of thing. You kind of lose track of what's going on where.
Yeah. Because you don't really care about the action in of itself. You care about the antagonist and the protagonist.
Exactly. What's happening to them.
Yeah.
My fried rice is almost done.
Yay for rice!
Yay! Okay. So that was the last general question. So we are moving on to the next part of the show, and this part is that Jen has brought 5 fics with her, and we're gonna ask her to give us a title and a parent and a short summary of what makes them special to her. So just go one by one.
Okay, so the first one is Craving Affection. That one, I believe I wrote, I want to say 2 years ago. And I remember I wrote it one night. It was probably 10 o'clock at night. And I was thinking, you know what? It'd be really great to cuddle with Dean. Just because, I hadn't had that in a while. Love life's pretty dry at the moment.
He is so cuddleable too, though.
And he is, like I look at gifs of him and I'm just like, wow, I really want to cuddle this man. And I just thought, you know what? Let's just sit down, put my headphones in, and I just started typing out what it would be like a typical night, just what it'd be like to cuddle with Dean. And to this day, that's probably one of my absolute favorite fics that I have ever written. Just because it's so simple, yet it's close to me for that reason. And there's no pressure, there's no actual real relationship being formed in it per se. It's just one person needs the other and the other person's there for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's maybe what we need the most. It's just to have someone there that'll do that for you.
I agree.
The next one, I'm kind of cheating here.
You're cheating.
Cheating, clicking the fics so I can remember which one's which. Sleepless Nights is another Dean one. So the reader is having trouble sleeping and she heads to Dean's room for a little bit of comfort. I think we can all say we've had nights like that where we've woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you just can't get back to sleep. You're tired. not just physically, but you're emotionally tired. You've had a rough time, and you just kind of need somebody to be there for you again. That's a lot of what my fics are about, is just having somebody there for you in the moments where you need them the most. And for me, that person is typically Dean. I just like that one because it's fluffy, and because I like the ending too, where Sam walks in and then he's asking where the reader is, and Dean's like, yeah, she's in here, and she's gonna be okay. And that's what I like about it. Something simple. The next one we've talked about already is Girls' Night.
Yes.
That one I wrote not too long ago. I believe it was someone who had sent me a quote or a prompt or something like that, and I had it in my ask box for maybe a year before I could think about what I wanted to do with it. And what's the quote for it? It was
bolded, wasn't it?
It was bolded, but I have it in the thing, but my page is loading. Yeah, Jane Locke 221. This is girl talk, so leave.
We said that the same.
Yeah, I like.
That was so funny.
I struggled with this one because I didn't want it to be like a typical reader and a female character talking about Dean in a way, oh, she's got a crush on him, do something about it kind of thing. I wanted it to be a dynamic between two best friends, like Dean and the reader, so that it was refreshing in a way. So I thought, you know what? We'll start with a breakup and we'll have a girls' night where it's just Dean and the reader. We're going to go watch a movie. We're going to eat junk food. We're going to do typically what girls do at a sleepover. And a lot of the time that sleepovers, at least in my case, is you talk about boys, I guess, and, what's going on in your life. And I feel like they had that dynamic.
They should have invited Sam, though, because they needed somebody to braid.
Yes, they did.
That's a true statement.
It wouldn't be me, though. I don't know how to braid hair. I kid you not. I tried to braid my own hair last night, and my sister's like, "Don't just let me do it. You're doing it wrong. Let me do it."
We'll have a girls' night one day, and we'll teach.
Please do. It might take a while, but I like that one just because it's nice. As much as she doesn't want to open up, something's really bothering her, and she has to say something. And I really like how Sam was like, I want to come in, I want to join.
That was so cute at the end. It was, what was it? I have to pull it up again. I'm in the sheet as well.
Okay, that's fine. Totally acceptable. Cheating is so acceptable.
It was online. You just want to join in, don't you? That too, but seriously.
We both talked to both of you about this.
He just keeps trying to butt in. He's like, Sam, Dean was like, Sam, can we talk about it later? He's like, yes, but you just want, and the reader's like, you just want to join in, don't you? He's like, yes.
Yeah. I had a couple of requests to do a part 2 to that, and I never got around to doing it.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, that one. I like that one. I think I would do it. I was gonna do one for Christmas time, but then I got all wrapped up in the series that I did for Christmas, and I just didn't. So I think if I do, I'd probably call it Girls' Weekend just to see what we could do in a weekend.
Oh, poor Sam. He's just gonna wander around for a weekend looking like a lost puppy, isn't he?
Take it to Vegas. Their Vegas weekend.
Last time I had a girls' night with my friend and her boyfriend came and crashed it. I mean, it was we knew he was gonna crash it. It was welcome.
Mm-hmm.
We did. He was one of the girls. I'll give him that one. But that ended up with us drinking literally a bottle of wine each. So I think that should be inspiration. Just saying.
Yeah. Was that the Snapchats where you were doing a dance battle?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And just so you know, even drunk, I kicked ass.
That is awesome.
I love that when Emily and boyfriend was dancing, And you kept going, he's beating you. No, he's not!
No, but she literally does not remember us playing Just Dance at all.
Oh my god.
There's no memory of us playing Just Dance.
Well,
Awesome.
she's a bad loser, apparently.
And when I'm beating her by like 3,000 points, that what didn't go over very well.
Okay, so
The next
one.
That one is called Hold You Tight. And that one's a friendship dynamic with Dean and Sam and the reader. And it's got a theme that I do in a lot of my fics to deal with like mental illness, because I've become really comfortable talking about it through my experiences on Tumblr.
Yeah.
So this one, I think, sprung from when I had a really bad day, and I just kind of needed both the boys at the same time. Trying to remember this fic now.
She's baking cookies.
Yeah, baking cookies, and then it was the middle of the night. She's baking cookies, and they come down, and she starts talking about how, you know, she feels like she's not worth it, that she's being a burden to them, and they're trying to reassure her that everything is going to be okay, that they love her, and whatever way they want to express it, and they just hug it out, and they tell her she's perfect the way she is, and that they'll deal with her demons and all that kind of stuff. And I like the dynamic of it because it's just a friendship thing. There's no relationships. It's just three people that really care about each other.
I loved how this one showed fluff, like we're talking about fluff, but in a non-romantic way.
Yeah.
And it showed the relationships and the physical affection and all of that in a non-romantic way. I really loved that. It's
something different. You're not expecting like a kiss or anything like that or some cuddling. It's just you need a hug, and here's a hug. It doesn't mean like everything's going to be better again, but it's just a way of reassuring that, you know, things are going to be okay. I just like that one for that reason. Then the last one, which I don't think anybody really knows about at this point, which is Summer Fling. We haven't talked about it
at all. So.
We haven't talked about it at all. Nobody's reading this one. Summer Fling, Dean and the reader, an AU, which was originally supposed to be a mechanic AU, which technically it still is. There's still got a lot of mechanics coming up. That one's fun. I really like that one just because I can keep going. I'm living in that world more often than not, just because it's a good world to be in. Gives me that sense of a healthy relationship and what a good relationship should be. And that's what I wanted from the beginning when I started that one. I wanted it to be a healthy relationship after everything had gone to shit for the girl. And it kind of shows that Dean kind of rescued her in some way, but he helped her build her back up to what she was before everything went bad.
I don't think so it's your fic, but how I see it, I work with people that have been through domestic abuse with. I don't think it's a spoiler because we know that pretty early on in the first one. So I don't think he necessarily rescues her. I think she was in a place. To me, she was in a place where she needed to see that wasn't all that is. Because the only 2 relationships or 3 relationships that she has known has not necessarily been healthy. There's a mom and dad that were always fighting, and mom and her new boyfriend that belittles the children, and then the relationship with her brother that even though they had a good relationship, it came to a very tragic end.
It did.
So she has never known not that abusive and downward spiral that every relationship has been. So I think she just needed to see something that wasn't that to be able to save herself. And which it to me did, because as stupid as it was going back, that's what women do. They do go back to bad situations. But
it's more out of fear than anything else.
but it's also a. I think she needed to not be rescued. I think she needed to do it on her own.
She
And
did.
if she had just stayed, I think that sense would always have been with her. That it wasn't something that she did. It was something that happened for her. So as much as I cursed when she went back, I think she really needed to do that.
Yeah, it was definitely necessary that she went back. But a lot of it was to do with fear of what could happen, not only to her now, but what could happen to Dean and Bobby if she didn't go back. And I think she was afraid about a lot of the things that could happen too. I mean, she'd already paid for half of her schooling for something that she didn't want to do. She didn't want to have to waste his money and give him something else to go after her for. But there's a point in like every person that, you know, enough is enough, and then you gotta go. You gotta get out. Even if it took her going back to realize that.
I swear this is the last time you have to deal with voiceover, Rachel, but here I am again. We had this really weird echo and then these weird alien sounds that started happening during the last round of, I guess, take 2 is what we're going to call it. So this is take 3. We're picking up hopefully right where the last one left off, and enjoy the rest of the video. See you at the end. So, questions for your fics specifically.
Okay.
So I read Craving Affection, Sleepless Nights, Girls' Night, and Hold You Tight. I have not actually read Summer Fling yet. It's on my list.
That's okay.
I have.
Sorry, that's why
So
I
we
left
just
it
but that's in the general thing. We need to read a lot of fics to do these, so we kind of spread them between us. And Summer Fling I had already read, so
yeah, probably a good thing. Yeah. It's like 20 parts, so
yeah.
I literally looked at it and I was like, okay.
For me, when I had to read over to get to where I am with the sequel, I had to read it maybe 8 times, and it takes me about a day to read them all. So totally understand.
I read these yesterday. So for Craving Affection, you have such this abstract idea of just wanting to be held. But you capture it really, really well. Can you talk about kind of how your thought process was? Because you don't always actively think about, oh, I want to be held right now. It's just kind of a crazy.
It's just you don't exactly think often oh my god, I just want to be held, and you could constantly think about that. It's more of just it's a feeling, and then most of the time I just put whatever I'm feeling and I just type it out as a way of kind of getting it out. Then maybe I won't exactly feel that way anymore. It's a thing that I do with a lot of my writing with fics such as that. It's just a way of kind of expressing it, how I feel in a way that maybe someone else is going to understand too and relate to.
Oh yeah.
And maybe find some sort of comfort in knowing that maybe someone else feels that same way, and maybe this will give them a way of kind of feeling it in a different way, I guess. Because you can't exactly feel it, but it's the idea of having that.
Because it's such an abstract thought and such an abstract feeling, but you capture in Craving Affection and in Hold You Tight. It's very abstract, but at the same time you make it so concrete, which is really, really hats off to you for that, because that's impressive.
Thank you.
But with Girls' Night too, it goes from, I thought it was interesting how it went from, the narration goes from focusing on the reader's insecurities and then kind of shift halfway through to focus on Dean's. Which is not very common. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I just thought Girls' Night was more of a friendship type thing. in friends talk, you get to know each other. You share those little insecurities you have with your friends. Typically, I don't exactly have that with like any of my close friends, but in like a relationship such as what they had, in that I feel like there was an openness that they have. They were so close that they felt like they could share, like she could share like what she was feeling with her insecurities about how she looked, and because of the guy that left her because of those reasons, that fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, I just swore.
No, you're fine.
I just felt like it was okay to share her feelings with him, and in a way he found it was okay to share what he was feeling with her in that moment, because it was just the two of them. There was no Sam in there to make a comment about how soft his brother was, or something very Sam-ish. So, and I'm gonna pull up the fic actually so I can say what part exactly where we switch off.
It's towards the end, I think, because I just thought it was so.
It was more towards the end.
Like, we really don't get that part of Dean a lot.
No, I mean, it starts because she's insecure about her stretch marks, and then he makes a comment about how she looks good, and she doesn't need to lose weight or starve herself or change a single thing about herself. And he says he doesn't want a guy like who she had before to have any effect on who she was. And then he makes a comment about how he hopes that that she doesn't find someone for a little while because he missed having like girls' nights with her. And then she makes a comment in a kind of weird tone where she says, "You could be that guy," and he takes it literally, and he would love to be that guy because there's that underlying feeling that he has for her, and he thinks that he's not good enough for a girl like her because he thinks he's got her as like this perfect girl that he loves in some way, and he doesn't want her to feel like she has to sell herself short for someone who might not be good enough for her. And he doesn't really have that much trouble expressing that in some way. She's able to pick up on the little things because they were so close. And he freaks out about that a little bit. You can see in it. And I think it's when they kiss that it kind of clicked with him that, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe I can let myself have this.
Which was so amazing. And something I noticed with this one and from Craving Affection to Girls' Night to Hold You Tight, it's kind of an overlapping theme, but you write so well about insecurities that are so specific, but so universal at the same time. Like, I wish I had a Dean to sit with me at 3 a.m. and just lay in bed and watch Netflix or do whatever.
Yeah.
It's such a specific feeling. And yet everybody feels it at some point or another.
It's a weird thought to think that, though, sometimes for me.
Yeah.
Because the way I write this, I'm writing it as in, like, I'm the only person in the world who kind of feels this way. And that's maybe one of the reasons why I share stuff like that, is so that maybe someone else can relate. And I enjoy when I get messages like that after they've read something like that. Oh my God, I feel the exact same way. And in a way, it kind of makes me feel like I'm a little less alone feeling this way. Because you walk around and you think, wow, maybe I'm the only person that feels this way. Maybe I'm not normal for feeling this way.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of like to bring that out.
I think it goes the other way too, as well. I think when people read that you wrote that, they feel less alone as well. It's not, because even though it is an universal thing, that the need to be held and the need to just, you can do it on your own, but not having to just for a moment is. I think we all feel that sometimes, and
I think so, yeah.
But I also think that in those moments we feel like no one feels like that, because
it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, you want to be strong and you want to be able to do everything yourself, and sometimes it's easy to think that everybody knows how to do everything themselves. When it's really just I think strength isn't always in doing it yourself. It's more in asking for help or just showing that you need help, even if it's just a hug, or if it's a lie in bed with me and watch Netflix for a night.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had.
I'm gonna poke you again for spoilers in a little bit, but we have a few people actually asking you about Summer Fling.
Okay.
So we have Aaron again at Black Tide 7. Summer Fling is a Summer Fling and its sequel, More Than a Fling, are absolutely wonderful. How were you able to capture such raw emotion?
Well, first of all, thank you, Erin. That is very nice of you to say. I do know that she enjoys that. She sent me a message the other day, and she's like, I love this series so much. It makes me smile when I see that, because I love her as a writer so much. I look up to her.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's funny with Erin, because I beta a lot of her series and she beta a lot of mine, so I really love her and she's a great writer, but it's also funny to have that look. That it's the same with Rachel. It's kind of a different look on each other's way of working. It's funny too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny to once in I love just reading series, but it's also funny to know all the versions of a chapter that sometimes happen before the actual chapter hits.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it's the same with mine. Sometimes I write 5 different versions of a chapter before I post.
Yep. It's certainly interesting to see that from that angle. For her question, how were you able to capture such raw emotion? I guess when I'm writing, like I listen to music every single time I write. It's just how I get into my own little my headspace, because I can't have any distractions around me, except for music. I can just tune in. But I like to be able to see the story happening when I'm writing it. So when I feel, I'm going to talk about part 17 of Summer Fling mostly, because that was when they had that huge, sorry for the spoiler, Rachel.
No, you're good. I knew it. Getting into it.
Yep. So part 17 is when they had their first real big fight, when he asks her to move in so she doesn't have to go back with Gordon. And that fight scene, to this day, still makes me cry. Every single time I've read it, when I was writing it, I actually had to go and I had to take a walk, because I got so into it that I got so emotional. I had to go because I couldn't see my computer screen with all the tears that were falling.
Oh.
It was really bad. Like I love writing emotion like that, but it's hard to do it, because I try to make it as real as I possibly can, and sometimes I don't exactly know if that it's not real. But I can feel it. I can feel it.
I think that's the one thing that, well, one of the things that I relate to the most that Jensen said was in season 4, where he described his time in hell and he had to walk it off because his mind knows that it's not real, but the body doesn't know. And I kind of do the same thing too when I write. I know I'm not acting it out, but I have to get into that headspace. And rationally, I know that it's not real, that it's fiction, it's something I'm writing, it's not real characters, it's not really my story, but still it's my body and a part of my brain doesn't know that.
Like each story is a piece of who we are, right? So that piece, you're writing it, you're putting your heart into it, you get attached to the characters, you get attached to the story and the relationships. So when you feel like your characters are breaking up, you feel that inside.
Guess, Rachel, you get attached, so you shouldn't kill them.
I can't change what history did.
You just managed to make a good argument for an argument we have been having about our little collab for a while.
No, ma'am. No. We are not Yes, we are killing him.
Yes, we are, and we shouldn't, because
he's going to die. Yes. You can't kill him.
Yes, I can unkill him.
You cannot not kill him.
It's supernatural. I can do whatever I please. If you stop being stubborn.
Whatever lets you.
If you stop being stubborn, I can do whatever I please.
That's not going to happen.
Jen says, tell her she can't kill people.
You can't. Okay. I have never, ever killed somebody important off in any of my fics. Ever.
If it's historically based.
Okay, yes.
No, not yes. It's supernatural.
This person actually died.
I think that's allowed. I'm gonna say yes. I think that's allowed.
There you go.
Thank you very much for coming, Jen. That's all we have time for now.
You don't have to stop broadcast button.
Is that the first time you've had to kick somebody off the show?
Just go side with Rachel, then I won't have to.
He has to die. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he kind of does.
He really doesn't.
He really does.
Okay, let's move to Angela's question, because I feel like this could go on for a while.
It probably
ATC 74 says, this is a question for Diane regarding Summer Fling. I fell in love with this series from the moment you posted the summary and opened for text. It was heartbreaking. It was a heartbreaking read, but so much love and good came from that. What was your inspiration for such an amazing series?
Well, I already mentioned earlier on that my inspiration for this series was when I was driving on that road, which I guess driving, when I drive, a lot of my inspiration comes out because I have time to think when I'm driving. My music's playing really, really loud in my car. But it's just
on the road.
Just love on the road. I love driving. And the snow was gone at that point.
But what about the backstories? What about, it's an AU, so you gave Dean a new backstory, which we don't fully know yet. And you gave, and the reader's backstory, which is...
Hold on. I actually have a page. I have a page that I wrote down on one of my things. And it's a page that has everything that I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted it to be a mechanic AU. And I had the mechanic. It was going to be, I'd had the name picked out. It was going to be Bobby, John, and Dean working there. Then I wanted the girls to all be involved. And then I picked out saying that she was staying at her dad's for the summer. And then I just kind of formed from there. You know, I wanted there to be characters with characters. I wanted Bobby to have Ellen. I wanted Ellen to be like this rich woman who had 2 businesses and she was successful with her daughter. And then I wanted Dean to have relationships with each of the girls at the diner. I'm going to go to the very first thing where I first started outlining for this series. I wrote down the characters that I wanted, what relationships. And I just kind of developed into something where I had different angles of where the story was going to go. Like Zeke, for example, the brother. And I wanted that to be motivation as for her to kind of get away, to have that backstory for her. And as I went on, I wanted Dean to have something in the background too. And then that kind of just developed into something more as to who his character is now and what effect that had on his relationship with the reader and his relationship with Sam and their parents. I wanted it to be kind of like Dean from the show, but stripped off the hunter part of him, but still gave him the same personality.
I have a question. I don't know how well you can answer without giving spoilers,
okay.
but let's try. So Sam is with Jess, like and he's in a very different mind frame than Dean is when we first meet them. So if something happened to their parents that affected Dean so much, how did it not affect Sam in that way?
This is a very difficult question to answer without spoiling. You're gonna get your full answer as you read on. Especially,
that's not an answer yet. I ask good questions. Give cryptic answers if you must, but you have to answer.
I'm gonna pull up part 8. I do explain a little bit of it in part 8, but we do see a little bit more in Summer Fling when we see Mary and Samuel, her dad's relationship, and we see Samuel and John's relationship and how that's kind of, Samuel hates John, doesn't want anything to do with them. But we find out kind of in there that Mary calls Dean when she needs someone to talk to. Instead of talking to John, Dean is always her go-to. So that kind of answers your question with why it affects Dean so much as to why it affects Sam less. But in a very vague way.
Are somebody feeding the dogs again?
No, my parents just got home.
Okay, and you promised us a spoiler to be on.
I did not promise you.
No, but you're gonna give it.
Okay.
Can I just, before you do this, can I just say something that's very cute about you?
You can guess.
When I pressure you for spoilers, your voice goes up a little bit. Like...
No, you're actually not the first person to say that about me.
I think you would be a very poor liar, because if you're trying to tell a lie, then your voice would just do that.
I'm not a very good liar. My friend at work, she says that my nostrils flare when I'm lying to her or trying to hide something. It's so true.
I can eject Karina. I can eject her. I'm not gonna pressure you for spoilers because I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's try to think of something that I can.
Well, we know something is gonna happen with Gordon. Can you tease something about that?
With Gordon?
Mm.
Yes, Gordon is going to be making an appearance. I'm going to say that.
You're very bad at spoilers.
I know.
You're really bad at them.
He's going to make an appearance. I know that.
Sorry, take what you can get.
What about Joe? How is he
Joe?
I mean,
Joe has a little bit.
Their parents live together now, so.
Joe, there's something interesting I did with her.
Alright, I think that's all you're gonna
do. Do you care to explain?
No.
I don't want to give it away because it doesn't happen in the next part. It happens in part 9. Oh, no, I think it happens in part 10. We find out more about Joe's background. Slightly. And what happened between Joe and Dean.
And I suppose it's going to be what happens between Joe and Dean.
Yeah, something happens between Joe and Dean back then. Because we all know that Dean dated everybody in the diner but Joe.
Well, I didn't know that, but now I do.
Yes. We find out what exactly went down. For sure in that. Trying to think of what else I can spoil. I will tell you, it's not really a spoiler, but I was talking to Rose, who was trying to predict where I'm going to take this, and she thinks that they're going to get pregnant.
Babies!
That's what her take is, and she really wants that to happen.
I mean,
I think they're gonna get married. I don't think babies necessarily, unless you do a time jump or something, because he's still really young and and has school and stuff. That I think he should be allowed to finish without being stuck in something else. Not that a baby is a baby is a good thing, but she has kind of been living life on everybody else's terms, so she kind of deserves to live it a little bit on her own before.
Exactly.
But I really do agree that I think they should get married and they should have kids, but I don't not in a few months or in a year even. I think she should be allowed to be who she is first, and I actually think he would agree. So no, Rosie, I don't agree with you.
I think it's funny that I think she just wants babies. I think that's what it is.
She just wants Daddy Dean.
she really wants some angst.
Yeah.
She really wants some angsty stuff to happen.
But how it But don't angst by making two. They're so sweet together. Don't angst by making an unwanted baby.
No, exactly.
Or a baby they are not ready for, at least.
No. No. I mean, I know there's going to be some angst coming up, obviously, because, I mean...
How old is Dean? And it's 25, 26?
25. He'll be 26 and when we hit his birthday, because we're going to have a part for his birthday. She will be 24. So she's 2 years younger.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see some angst, but not in the way that everybody's expecting.
Don't say that. I'm very good at guessing.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to guess this one just yet.
And not yet. You haven't put out a lot of clues yet. Right now, it's more just a healing kind of thing.
It's the travel, healing, trying to get back to where we were. We're gonna have one more part where we're in San Diego, and then we're gonna head home, and then the rest of it's just gonna be home and building.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do a lot of guesswork until the details are gonna appear. Right now, I'm just let them be happy for a little bit.
It gets interesting. I'm really happy with where I'm gonna take it. Took me a long time to get everything going. But
interesting was really high pitched again, just saying that.
Reading way too much.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you off the hook now. You brought some fics by some other lovely authors. Do you wanna give us a title and who wrote them and a brief summary and why people should go read them?
All right, I'm gonna open it up so we can get the specifics. So the first one is Hi, a single Jensen X-Reader by ATC74. I read this one not too long ago because I think she posted it not too long ago. And it's a story about going to a convention, and the reader's nervous about her first ever photo op with Jensen. And then she goes to Vegas, and it turns out better than what she expected. I just really liked the way that Ange wrote this one. It was just really, really sweet and very Jensen. That's what I liked about it. It's very for a lot of people that have the photo ops with him, it's very him. He's very sweet and down to earth, and he's very comforting in a way when you meet him. And I love the way that she inquired, like she put that in here, and it was
I think
so
sweet
good.
is also just a good word to describe him.
It was so sweet, and I also like how he asked for her, like her number, and that he took her out. I really, really wish that she would do another part to this, but I know she's probably not going to unless I like torture her into doing it. I would love for her to do it. I definitely recommend that one. That one was one of my favorites, and she just posted it not too long ago. Go pressure her into doing another part for me.
Well, she's coming in, so we can totally do that.
Please do. Please do. I'm gonna send that in.
Before we move on, we were talking about Rosie's eating in the shower fic. Do you by chance remember the title?
Hold on. I just.
Rosie?
Not that Rosie.
What one was it? Hold on a sec. I can find it.
If you have the link, just throw it in the doc.
Shower meals is what it's called. Hold on. I can get that in a second. If it'll load.
If not, I'll find it.
It's on. I just reblogged it last night.
I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll find it.
There you go. Give me a sec. There we go. It's the keep reading thing I just added in. Okay. The next one is Enough by Sis to Fix. It's
You talked about this one with Jill when she was on.
I love this one. I really love this one. It's Jensen, ex-reader as well. And I just really loved the way she wrote this one, honestly. And I like the insecurity thing.
It's her first Jensen, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So to anyone listening, go tell Jill that she writes amazing Jensen and she should write him more.
Kari's really good at making pressure of each other.
Yeah, I love the way she writes Jensen so much. I'm just rereading over it a little bit so I can talk more about it. But it's about an insecure reader. And Jensen's comforting her. And I think it's about a breakup, actually. And then Jensen's comforting her. And the guy's not good enough for her and all that. And then I think they do the deed.
I think you're right.
I think so. I love the way she writes so much. So much. It was just everything in one. It was like a little ball of perfect little Jensen-ness. And I just love
that is the word of the day.
I think so, yes. I really like the way she writes him. It's just so, it's very him. Jensen-ness. All right, the next one. Colorful Leaves, another Jensen one. I swear I didn't do that on purpose.
Of course not.
Colorful Leaves by Captain Radical Passion.
Hey,
Sorry. This one was actually for your challenge. It was so fluffy.
Now I need to.
So many things.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Where she runs into Jensen, and then he asks if he can take her out.
Yeah.
And they go for a walk. It was just so happy, and I just love fall fics though. Absolutely love them. And this was another good one. Just happy.
Yeah, there's something magical about fall that there's not about.
Fall is just an amazing time of year.
It really is.
I loved that there was colorful leaves and the nice dynamic of friends, and then Jensen, 'cause every good fic has Jensen in it. Honestly, Jensen's just perfect. And then he asks her to marry him, and it's just so cute. I swear, fluff fics are the reason why I'm going to be forever single, along with Jensen Ackles.
And Danielle Ackles. He doesn't help.
He does not help. He really does not help. And nobody helps.
There's a reason why I write poly. It's not that I have any conscious qualms about pretending that they are single and they are with a reader. It's just because I'm greedy and I want them both at the same time.
That is okay. The next one is You Make Me Insane. That's a Dean one. And it's by Winchester Writes. I'm pretty sure I may have betaed this one, but I can't really remember.
Have we mentioned her at all today?
No. Who's this girl we mentioned anyways?
Yeah. Do you even know who that is? Why did you put that figure on there?
Don't know who she is. She's annoying. I'm just kidding.
And when Rosie watches this, we're gonna get a very, very angry I am, both of us.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the call in the middle of the night.
This is a good way to check if she actually watches it at some point. Because if she says nothing, then she didn't.
Nobody's not watched this far in, guys. We've been sitting here for over 3 hours.
I like this. This is a nice way to communicate.
Yeah. Rosie is Jen's Rachel, so she better watch it.
She really is. She actually told me to say hi to you guys too.
Yeah. Karina, I love you so much, but if you're ever on a live stream for 3 hours, I'm not sitting through all of it.
I'm really sorry, guys.
You will.
At least we're almost.
She will. She will. She just doesn't know it.
Yeah. Okay. So this one's by her. It's about how Dean is like falling for her, and he keeps asking her out, but she's, she doesn't take it seriously, and then
did we say the name of it?
You Make Me Insane.
Wait,
You Make Me Insane, yes. But he asks her out, and he's like pleading that she says yes. And it was like prompted from someone's challenge. And the quotes were, "Are you clinically insane or incredibly annoying?" And he says, "I don't know, probably both." But my favorite thing is, all I know is "You make me insane, sweetheart." And I was done. It was so cute. Flattery will get you anywhere. I love how cute.
Especially when you look like Dean.
This is true.
Do anything.
I'm saying, if anyone said, "This coffee is hot, kind of like you," I would throw something in their face. But if it's him, then he could get away with it.
And then the next and the last one is Kissing Dean Winchester. This one was just,
and it's by
Bring Me Some 556. She kills me. She knows it too. It's basically best friends to lovers kind of situation. And the reader goes to Jensen's apartment, and he got a script, and then Dean's going to be getting it on with another woman. So they start drinking, and then she asks what would it be like to kiss Dean Winchester. And I think we've all had that thought. But basically it goes on where he doesn't want to take advantage of her. So he waits till the morning, and then he says, I bet you don't think about what it's like to be kissing Dean Winchester. And she's like, no, I'm thinking about what it'd be like to kiss my best friend. And then they have some sexy times. Which was definitely some good times. I love that one. It makes my heart flutter in my chest when I read it.
And that is the perfect example of what great fluff should be like.
Exactly. I love
If
it.
it makes your heart flutter in your chest, then it's a job well done.
Definitely.
And now we actually reach the last part of the show.
3 hours later.
If Rachel is ready, we're gonna throw some rapid fire questions at you.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Are you though?
No, probably not.
Let's see how high pitched your voice can get.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
gonna-
keep going faster and faster.
Hmm?
Alright. Ready?
Yeah, Diane is never coming back. I think I scared her off.
It's not that you. I'm surprised you guys would ever want me back. 3 hours later, it's probably what, like midnight your time.
Yeah, in 20 minutes, but meh.
Yeah,
I'm not
Okay.
really an early bird anyway, so.
that's fine. That's okay. It's allowed. All right, rapid fire questions.
Rain or snow?
Rain,
Boat or plane?
plane,
Text or call?
call.
Canon or AU?
Can I pick both?
No.
Canon.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Lots of gifts or plain text?
Gifts. Definitely gifts.
Typing or handwriting?
Typing.
Second person or first person?
Second.
Phone or computer?
Computer.
Books or movies?
Books.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. I don't drink either.
Coke is the correct answer when you're talking to a Georgian.
Sweet.
Coke is also the correct answer when you're talking to a Denmark person.
Yes, I got something right.
Or Denmarkian. Or what? That was Jared. He said a Denmarkian at some con. And
I
then,
think so, yes.
yeah, and Steph remembers it. And now that's what I am.
Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. Cat or dog?
Cat.
Ha 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 ha. That is also the correct answer.
I love all
That is very much the wrong answer.
I love either or, but if I was to pick one, it'd be a cat.
Wilma, thanks you for your time.
I love it. That was good. It's good times.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
That's good. I had a lot of fun doing this. This was definitely fun. Technical difficulties and all.
I know, and we'll erase all technical difficulties. Will vanish once everything gets into iMovie. It's amazing how those things happen.
Definitely. I don't think I've ever used iMovie.
Yeah,
but
it's lovely to have things magically happen.
isn't it?
And that only happens when one has a Rachel.
Because it's gonna
So
take
the
me a couple
moral of the story: get a Rachel.
Get a Rachel.
Well, apparently I'm for sale half the time, so I mean, it wouldn't really be that difficult.
Yeah, but honestly, if somebody wants to buy you, I would set the price so ridiculously high that they wouldn't want to.
That's good. That's really good. Ridiculously high.
Well, every other day she sets off, got a Rachel for sale, going cheap. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'll buy next time.
Get me out of this. Get me out.
Approach me on the day where she has been the most annoying, and you'll get her for free.
Get her for cheap. So
It's a good deal. Real good deal.
Okay, so next week, we
Not
are
next week.
recording this on Wednesday the 14th, but it will post on Tumblr and YouTube on Sunday the 18th. And our next guest will be on March 25th. And it will be Angela, and she is at ATC 74.
Yep.
And we will be talking about feedback again because it's so very important. And
Yes, it
Angela is very, very good at making those rec lists and giving feedbacks for pretty much everything she reads.
Yes, she is very, very good. She makes me very happy.
If you guys have any questions about anything at all, be sure to send them into Kari or my inbox.
Yeah,
Always
and I will make a post at some point with fics of hers we will be talking about, so you can ask specific questions to those as well.
That's right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you know that you can follow us. And if you hit the subscribe button, you can hit the little notification bell right next to that, and then it will notify you as soon as I post or as soon as we go live. You get a little ding pop up, and you don't even have to wait for us to post the link. You can just already be here. How awesome is that?
What Rachel really wants is to end by saying like and subscribe because she has a fic coming that's named that.
I do. You don't only have to hit like.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm having a YouTube AU coming out. I've started it, but I haven't really gotten very far because I've been kind of sick and stressed.
Yeah, that's no fun. Not a good combination.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I actually do have YouTube, and I'm also trying to get in the habit because I'm probably going to be starting a vlog during the summer.
That's exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Rachel is going to Washington. We're so proud of her.
So proud.
I'm doing internship in Washington. If you didn't already know that, whoever.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Except for I have to go there and then literally 1 week later turn around and come back.
Ugh, not fun.
Well, my little sister's graduating, and I can't not be there.
True.
Especially when she's quite possibly valedictorian or salutatorian.
Aw, that's so sweet. Lucky her.
I think you should be there, and you should hold the phone in your hand the entire time so that your sister can watch on Skype.
Honey, they already have official live stream. I'll get you the link when it gets closer.
Yay! Okay.
They actually do live stream it online.
I wanna watch my little sister be valedictorian.
I do too. Alrighty, well, we're gonna end this so I don't have to edit even more down because it's already.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, Jen. And this time it was for real and not me trying to kick you off.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun. It's nice talking to you guys and listening and actually hearing your voices in person, which is great. You guys have lovely voices.
Rachel does.
I get NPR host a lot. Actually, it's weird. I get NPR host and I get Danielle. I don't know why people think I sound like Danielle.
I think it's the accent a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a little bit.
Change that. I'm not going to change that. Anyway, okay, we're gonna end this.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys. It was fun.